like the fact that you brought a huge delegation with you, over 100, and hopefully this would mean more sort of businesses and investment coming into Indonesia. Now, you mentioned about the water and in particular, what other areas that we can actually focus on, particularly since, I mean, Holland is well known with water management, but the other things like, for example, the dairy industry.
Well, of course, you have Frisian flag here. The company is established in Indonesia since 1922. I will visit Multi Bintang later today, which has its connections with Heineken, which is active in Indonesia since, well, ever. Shell. But take Frisian flag. In the dairy industry, there are issues, and this is something and an area where the Netherlands can help. We have our famous dairy industry. We have so much recent insights and knowledge which we would like to share.
What are they hoping for you to bring? I mean, I know that Europe at the moment is still in the middle of a economic crisis and austerity measures and unemployment and so on and so forth. What kind of Holland are we talking about now?
The Netherlands is still a relatively big economy. We are not as big as Indonesia. We are, I believe, the 17th or 18th economy. You're now the 15th or 16th economy in the world. So you have basically overtaken Holland now, and you are growing at 5-6%. So we will only see the back of you in terms of economic growth. And again, in around 2030, you might be the 7th biggest economy. In Europe, we had to fight the last couple of years the effects of the serious debt crisis, particularly in the south of Europe, which was a drain on some of the resources, and we had to put in place the necessary austerity measures. We do not have the population growth you have here in Indonesia, so the demographic the demographics are different, and that
aging population, is it?
Yes, well, in the Netherlands we still have the population is still growing, but at a very low rate, and not as at a high rate as yours. Some other European countries we have somewhat, the population is getting somewhat smaller.
Rutte's visit to Indonesia shows his government's commitment to strengthen ties between the two countries and smooth the creases that have characterized relations in the past. But it also shows how the country increasingly looks to the east for investment opportunities, as Europe still feels the pinch of a long economic crisis. Personally, I'm also interested to know what sort of country the Netherlands is nowadays, and in what ways the connection could be re-established between the two, this time in a mutually beneficial way. For this, I fly with KLM from Jakarta to Amsterdam. This Dutch airline's first intercontinental flight, by the way, started in 1924 with Jakarta, then known as Batavia, as its final destination. For Indonesians, what is Holland famous for? Well, Frisian flag milk are certainly familiar brands in Indonesian household. I decided it would be interesting to visit the company that produces it. Friesland Campina is one of the 5 largest dairy companies in the world. The company is fully owned by a cooperative of more than 14,000 dairy farms in Holland, Germany and Belgium, with offices spread in 28 countries and distributing dairy products to more than 100 countries in the world. The Netherlands is a large producer of agricultural and food products and the second largest exporter after the United States. The dairy sector accounts for about 10% of exports. This from a country with a population of only around 17 million people and a total area of 42,000 kilometers square, less than a third of Java. Because of this, together with the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation and the Dairy Farm Cooperative in North Bandung, Lembang, Royal Friesland Campina and its subsidiary Frisian Flag Indonesia signed an MOU in Ciracas during Prime Minister Rutte's visit to Indonesia to support the Dairy Village program, which will help more than 10,000 local dairy farmers in West Java boost their production, improving both quantity and quality. The program should help increase national fresh milk supply by 50% in 2025, which is currently well below the requirement needed by a large and young population. I'm eager to get first-hand information on the types of assistance and programs available to help Indonesian farmers improve their skills and livelihood.
Tell me about the cooperation that you will be doing with the Indonesian farmers.
Yeah, we have a dairy development program in Indonesia. We leverage our knowledge of our company, the cooperative Friesland Campina, the knowledge of our managers in the factories, in the field, in the quality, and the farmers in the cooperative. And we leverage that to bring that knowledge to the farmers in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, the farmers where?
Especially specific in West Java, but also Central Java and a few farmers in East Java.
Okay, when you say bringing the know-how and expertise, what kind of things exactly?
Yeah, on farmers level it's practical, very practical. Hoof trimming, fertility, feeding of the cow, all that kind of practical things. Farmers in Indonesia do not have the experience yet, and with really good examples we can show the farmers how they can better manage the farms. And at the end, of course, the productivity, the yields per cow will increase, and also what is important, to have a higher productivity from the land, because the land is one of the constraints in Indonesia, to have good roughage for the cow.
So you've been to Java too, right?
Yes, we visited Java, I think 5 weeks ago. We've been there for 3 weeks.
So what's your impression of the way milk farming is done there?
In basic, they are doing, what we saw is that the farmers really are working hard and they're doing their utmost. So they are trying to work the way they think it is good. But a lot of things, yeah, you see sometimes there's a lack of knowledge. Because some farmers are feeding less feed, and that's because they think that a cow needs only for like 3 times a day they're feeding, but half an hour, 45 minutes is empty. And over here you can see this is for 24 hours. So the cows are feeding and eating during the whole day. So it's a little change, but
it makes a big difference to the amount of milk they produce.
Yes.
Supported by